So I've been rummaging through the old payphone radio calls that I started making back in 2010. Although at the moment I can't seem to find the ones from 2010, but I know they're in there. I've listened to probably 200, 250 of these calls. Most of them are pretty short. It's not like an ocean of audio content. It's just I'm editing them down, and what's really been driving me crazy is how often I sniff. How often I just make that horrible sniffing noise. So I'm being really anal about excising every occurrence of a sniff because I just think it sounds disgusting. It's like almost as bad as the wind noise, which wind noise I think is the voice of Satan. But it's interesting to play some of this stuff back. There's many of them I have absolutely no memory of having recorded. There's one where I go out, I went out to the Ravenswood houses at 11:30 at night, pretty drunk, and there were plenty of people around. It was really probably not the safest place for me to be at 11:30, but whatever the case, as far as the other stuff, I mean, I'm immune to it by now. But I hear myself talk about mortality, and people have told me that it concerns them when they hear me talk like that. And I get it, but you know, I'm okay now. I've had some really shitty times, but I'm okay now. At least I think I am. I would like to quit drinking, as I've said, but I'm all right. So I've gone through some phases. I was just getting through the phase where I was reading my horrible poetry from the New York Public Library phone booths, which later went on to become the CBS Sunday morning phone booths, for me at least. And I don't know, maybe the poetry's not as bad as I think. Maybe it's salvageable, but I'll give it another chance. There was a period early on where I was trying to be super weird. I thought I was trying to be like Joe Frank. And in so doing, I discovered what Joe Frank really is, and he wasn't everything that I thought he was. Joe Frank was a comedian. That's what he was. He was a loony comedian with a dark side, but ultimately he would riff on nonsense and sort of Dadaistic ways of just generating content. What I'd like to do with some of them is the unintelligible ones where I can just barely tell what distinguish what I'm saying. I'd want to transcribe those and accompany the audio with a video of the transcript, or maybe find some way to do that with HTML5 or something. But I mean, the obvious solution would be to turn it all into video and post it to YouTube, but YouTube censors, and some of my talk about mortality would probably have the Google police showing up at my door with a straitjacket, even though those comments are from like 8 years ago. But it's more rewarding than I expected to go back through this stuff. There is some pretty good stuff. There's a lot of stuff that is just hopelessly boring and pedantic, and I ask myself, why the hell did I even make this call? But there are some gems in there, as one might expect, with that much stuff. So just thought I'd share.